listen, y'all. Before we even start, if y'all in there, man,
Woo!
it's
We'll
a
give me a shout out
doozy.
Neho when this is over. I'm just letting you.
Man, we got to get something. All right. Well, good God Almighty.
Ooh, baby.
Woo! Man, listen,
Promise
ladies
you.
and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Cultural Frequency, also known as Vibe Responsibly. I'm your host, Gio Richardson, and as always, I have my melanated marvels with me. Jax, how you doing tonight?
I'm well. How are y'all?
Doing good.
I could use a shot of Neho though, and I'm gonna get that set some day.
Hey, I'm not mad at that. Whew, Lord.
I'm gonna have one for y'all too.
Yeah, well, we gotta have a couple. Hey baby, how you doing?
Hey, Rary. I am blessed and highly calm today.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to be.
I think that's the best way for us to be right now.
Yeah, I think that's the best way for anybody to be. All right.
Even
So,
kill, don't do nothing.
yeah. So, with that being said, before we dive in, thank you for vibing with us. If you're getting value from these conversations that want to help us keep the vibe going, please, by all means, click the link at the bottom to become a monthly subscriber for just $3. The link on the screen will take you to our Patreon membership page. There you will see different tiers you can choose from that will give you access to exclusive content, merch, perks, the ability to suggest topics, and even join us on the panel for even deeper members-only discussions. No pressure. Just support how you feel led. We appreciate every single one of you. It's a small gesture that makes a big impact, helping us keep the mics hot, the vibe strong, and the culture moving forward. The link at the bottom will be shown, and it just went away. It will be shown periodically throughout this episode so that everyone gets a chance to click and subscribe. For those of you who are listening to this via an audio podcast, first and foremost, we would absolutely love for you to join us during the live stream. Please find us on YouTube, Vibe Responsibly Podcast, and get yourselves up here. As we do this every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, you all can also subscribe by going to patreon.com and search for us by typing in Vibe Responsibly and subscribe to your heart's content. And if now is not a good time, by all means, subscribe to the YouTube channel at Vibe Responsibly Podcast. And that is all one word, Vibe Responsibly Podcast. Also, we thank you all for checking in. And do me a favor, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this live with at least 5 to 10 people. Because our motto here on Vibe Responsibly is and will forever be, you will not be out here vibing alone. So share this live and tell your people to jump in the chat, tell us where they're from, and by all means, speak your entire mind. So let's see who's in the chat this evening. We got Cynthia in the building.
Hey, Cindy.
Hey, Cynthia.
How are you?
We got Paris in the building.
Hey, bestie.
All right. Got my man Derek in the building. Good evening, fam. He said, baby, you need a shot? I got you. All right.
Hey,
That's what I'm
brother.
talking about. That love. Okay, my mom is in the building. Hi, my children.
Hey,
Okay.
Ma.
All right. Definitely got trouble in the building. All right. Okay.
Don't do
Yeah, man. Listen, holy
Don't do
smokes.
my
I'm
mama
had to
like
tighten
that.
up my
She
seatbelt.
is good trouble.
I'm had to tighten up my seatbelt today. All right, so we getting right into it tonight. All right, everybody wants accountability until it's aimed at them. We demand honesty, we demand consequences, we demand people do better. But somewhere along the way, something changed. Now mistakes live forever. One bad decision can become your identity. One moment can overshadow years of growth, and social media has turned accountability into a spectator sport. People aren't just asking what did they do, they're asking how badly can we make them suffer for it. But here's the question nobody wants to answer. If a person learns, changes, and grows, at what point do we allow them to move forward? So tonight we're talking about accountability, not as punishment, not as cancellation, but as growth. So tonight we're asking, what does accountability look like in 2026? So here's my first question, because that's rhetorical. At what point does accountability stop being about growth and start becoming vindictive or maybe even petty?
That's that whole like you were saying, it turns into punishment on social media when you just want the person to suffer. You don't want to see them grow from the mistake they made. You don't want them to understand it was a mistake, that they hurt you, and to be accountable so they don't make the mistake again. You literally want to see them suffer. You want to see them crucified. And that's no longer accountability. That's straight vindictiveness. You don't care about me learning from my mistake or growing. You want to see me hurt. And I think for some people, it is that. I need you to hurt like I hurt. And that ain't necessarily accountability either. It's not supposed to be equal. It's supposed to be progressive. Well,
Right.
my opinion.
Okay. All right. What you got, Keish?
I agree with Jax. Like you have to be in a space to be able to accept the person and not want to punish them. Punish them is like the law. Like taking accountability. If they're taking accountability, that means they accept what they did or whatever caused that person harm, and they want to apologize or fix it. Like they don't want to continue on causing you harm. So that's the reason why they take the accountability. But if you in a bad space, then that means that you want to punish them. Hurt people hurt people. So they actually want to see you being hurt just like how they were hurt. Like that's like tit for tat. Like no, you're not supposed to do that. Like if you actually care about that person, or even if that person is just somebody that's meaningful in your life, then that means that first of all, it's big for somebody even to take accountability, because that's meaning that they're accepting the mistake that they caused you or the hurt that they caused you. So that's a big huge thing. You got to take that in account too. So if they doing all that, that means that that person, you mean something to them. So that means that you need to do the same for them. That's how I see it.
I agree with both of y'all. Now, this is where I'm going to take a spin on it, because accountability was meant to correct behavior, promote growth, create responsibility, and encourage better choices. The biggest problem with accountability is not most times the person that's holding you accountable. It's the person that's being held accountable. And the reason why I say that is because most people are, I'm not going to say most, some people are the ones that are so used to holding other people's accountable that when it's time for them to be held accountable, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. And so here's the biggest problem with that. Most don't see that they want more out of you. They see more out of you. They know you have more in you. So they hold you accountable for things. And the fact that, okay, I know you can do better. Let's do better with this. Okay, let's do better with that. But like we said before, that whole, this is how I am.
Mm.
This is how I've always been. That's a form that you can't get past that. And having to hold somebody accountable that's never been held accountable, and they're the ones that's always holding other people accountable, it's hard for that person. It's hard for that person to have to look in the mirror and say, okay, I was wrong. It's hard for that person to look in the mirror and say, okay, I got to tighten up. Because this whole time, they've been the person making sure that other people have been accountable for their actions. But now when it's your turn, when the mirror is turned, it's a little hard. So now, what do you do in that aspect, right? When it's flipped, when the rabbit got the gun, right? It's hard. It's hard. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. We know that.
Yeah.
Right? So if you've been checking people and you've been holding people accountable, and now it's your turn, oh buddy, now we got to figure it out. Right? So, it's a little hard for that person. Terry says, hey fam, I'm a little late, but I'm here. This convo is gonna be hype. I know it. You know it. My mom says, no, I'm not upset. I'm with that get back. That's why we can't rise as people. It's stuff like that. That's exactly why we can't rise as people. All right. So my boy DJ Sin says, if your excuse is that's how I am, then you don't want to see the real me. It took a long time for me to calm down. I'm with you. And I'm with you. We used to run together. So it take a certain level of violence to get a person to be so calm. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Right? A lot of people don't understand that. So if I'm trying to hold you accountable for something, it's not so much I'm on you. No, it's okay. I know you can do better. I know you can act better. I know you can move better. But a lot of people don't like it. It can be the smallest things. And if you've been the person that's been holding people accountable, it's hard for that mirror to be turned on you. So I ask this then, are we seeking correction or emotional satisfaction when we're holding people accountable?
I think it's a little bit of both. Mm. Because just like you said, like if you always say you the opposite of what you just said, like say I've always been the person that people been holding accountable, that I've always had to be the one to be corrected. So this is my one chance to be able to correct somebody else. Like I feel like that's like, something that you want personally. It doesn't even have anything to do with nobody else or you wanting better for that other person. It's the fact that you want to be the person to hold somebody accountable for something that they've done.
I disagree because I feel like if we're just basing everything off of being accountable basis on the fact that we know you could do better or I know you could do better as a person, I'm watching you, I see you. This should have no emotion, even if you hurt me. The only part of that emotional connection between me holding you accountable should be me telling you, hey, what you said, how you move, that bothered me. And I need you to acknowledge and know that that hurt me. I should not be coming from an emotional place when I come to hold you accountable as far as it satisfying me emotionally. The only emotional satisfaction that should be given is grace. Because I think that's where the stiffness between looking in the mirror comes from. We are not used to giving other people grace
Mhm.
when they make mistakes, when they fall short. It's I know you can do, you should be doing, and then when it's your turn, you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't give yourself enough grace to be like, you know what? I'm human.
I make
I messed
mistakes.
up. I need to apologize and take accountability for what I did. However that looks for in the situation. The grace is the only emotion that should be affected in between any of us because we all need a little bit of grace. Go on, get you some grace.
Let that
We all
let
need a little
that
bit of grace.
let that sizzle in your spirit. Um, as far as seeking correction, I think on certain levels there's a correction there. There's a correction because the accountability piece is the correction, right? It's the growth, it's the correcting on the spot kind of
The change.
situation. Yeah, change, right? So I think I'm going to say I believe with accountability we are seeking correction. As far as emotional satisfaction, yeah, you got to get your emotions out of it. You got to get your emotions out of it. If you're getting some sort of emotional satisfaction just by always having the knife hand and having to tell people you're doing wrong, that's not accountability. That's something way different. Like you literally are just being a jerk. You are. You're being a jerk. You are. Because I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Everybody's not right all the time. You're just not. Okay. Now if you just have pet peeves and everybody around you is hitting your pet peeves, you in the wrong
Might be
circle. It might be a problem. You might be in the wrong circle. You might need to get yourself up and move in a different circle and move with a bunch of different people because it's you in the wrong place. You are
Mhm.
surrounded and not supported, my friend. I promise you are. All right. Let me see. Terry says my oldest son had to lovingly correct me. I was falling off the deep end. He gently reeled me in. Grace. So yes, emotional support plays a part. Now in that, yes,
Mhm.
that definitely plays a part. Right. But if you're we're not the emotional, like
not the
the
support, the
not the emotional
satisfaction.
support, but just the satisfaction in
Right.
knowing that you got one up on somebody.
Exactly.
Like that's different. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. Is it? Here you go, Jax. That's easy for you to say if you're not the one being accountable. Oh, okay. All right, mom. Huh.
You should be right. But you know what?
Whatever.
Living
Um,
living in the world, when you learn to be
whatever.
held accountable, you have to
Mm. If you live long enough, you will. You know they tell you. If you live
You
long
live
enough,
long
you will
enough, you
see,
know.
baby. Hmm. But first and foremost, I want to say, hey, Samantha, I missed it. Hey, Samantha's in the building. In the great words of Jesus, Matthew 7:35, why do one look at the speck of dust in your brother's and sister's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? You ain't lying when you telling the
That
truth.
part.
Pot calling the kettle black,
Mhm.
throwing rocks at these glass houses, however you want to say it. I'm not mad at that. Now, shake up the world with this one. Should one mistake define an entire person forever?
Absolutely
oh,
not.
We say that.
Because everybody is human and everybody is not
Right.
approaching the same situation the same way. You and I could be on the same job, have to do the same task, and we're going to get it accomplished, but we do it two totally different ways. Because I did it my way and you did it your way, I can't say your way is wrong. It might have took me longer. You might have moved quicker. I might can learn something from you and you might can learn something from me. One mistake in your whole life don't destroy your life. Now,
True.
after that, if you keep making the same mistake, it's no longer a mistake. It becomes a choice.
Yeah.
That becomes a choice. That choice becomes your character, and those characteristics become your habits.
True.
That's totally different.
I agree. What you got, Kish?
That's what I was gonna say.
Best play.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like it's not the decision that they made that is the issue. It's when they continue to do that same decision over and over and repeatedly and keep saying they sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's the not taking accountability for them keep continuing to do stuff that they know is wrong. They know without a shadow of a doubt is wrong. No, it doesn't. That one time, no, it doesn't affect that person, and it shouldn't for the rest of their life. It shouldn't be carried with them. It should be whatever has happened, people should move on, and it should be the past. But it's when you continue to do it, that's where the problem comes in at, because people get tired of hearing, oh, I'm sorry for the same thing. Oh, that's just him doing the same thing. Like, no, like that's not okay.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the deal. I think that some people, and I agree with both of you. I just know that there are some people in this world that have a hard time letting go. They say they forget and they forgive, or they forgive but they don't forget. However they want to be saying it, right? I've seen so many people say that and still can't get past that hump of the mistake that was made on someone's behalf that hurt them. I've seen it so many times. And understand that, I'm with y'all. It ain't too many more times you're gonna keep doing the same thing that I told you I didn't like till I get to the point where I feel like, yeah, you done said screw me a couple times because you're just gonna keep doing what you want to do. And I get that. And I know there's people out there that just really don't care. They're just gonna keep doing it and keep playing in your face. But understand this, there comes a time where you're gonna reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do that. Like everything that this person's been asking you not to do, it's going to come back to you in some shape, form, or fashion. I need y'all to know that. This is not, everything. People say karma. Do I believe in karma? Yes, I do. To an extent, right? I honestly believe that you are going to find out in some way that what you were doing was wrong by an experience or a situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to hit you right then and there. It's just not. Because this is something that you're used to doing. This is a habit for you. So even if somebody telling you that they don't like it, you're going to continue doing it because it's like, well, feel good to me. I don't feel like I'm doing it wrong. And I've been trying to explain that's not the case. Someone tells you, hey, I don't like this. I'm not feeling what you're doing. And you continue doing it. Yeah. It's literally going to affect you somewhere down the line because you didn't heed what they're saying. And then when it happens to you, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you. Yeah, well, And you see, oh God, here we go. Gee, you slapped my piece out of my hand and you didn't take accountability. I need that today in cash with interest. Come get it. Come get that cash with interest. I give you my address. I guarantee you it'll be like you going to church store. You'll come here one way and leave another. I guarantee you that. Show up at my door.
We talk about mistakes. We're not talking about intentional choices.
Right.
We're not talking about you being intentionally hurting me.
Yeah.
And you made a conscious effort. We talking about mistakes.
Yeah.
Legitimate mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't a mistake though. I did that on purpose. I slapped that piece out of his hand on purpose. Yeah, I did.
You wanted his pizza?
No, I didn't want his pizza. I didn't think he should have the pizza either. So I slapped that out of his hand. So then yeah.
You You owe this man a whole pizza.
Literally.
Not a
Oh, that
slice of
man.
pizza, because I'm gonna want a whole
Oh, that
pizza.
man no pizza. Listen. So my next question is, why is forgiveness easier to request than it is to give?
Because we want something we're not willing to give somebody else. We
Mm.
want things that we are not willing to give, and it also comes. It's like some people have a issue saying I'm sorry. It's like it takes something out of you. It burns your gut and it churns your stomach to say I'm sorry.
Mm.
Some of us just aren't willing to give what we want, and that feeling alone, you be like, well, I don't want to feel that. You don't want to feel the responsibility and what comes in your gut when somebody says, I don't like that. I don't appreciate how you talk to me, or when you approach me, that hurt my feelings.
Mm.
You want people to accept your behavior and be cool with it and move on. Not happening everywhere.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Definitely not over here.
Heck no. All right. So what you got, Kish?
It's two things that happen. The first thing is because you have to admit that you wronged somebody. And if you are a kind person, that can hurt. So it could be hard for you to say that you're sorry because you don't ever want to be that person to hurt someone. And then the second thing is that happens is the fact that you may want to always be right. You could always want to be right. And that means that somebody is telling you that you're wrong. And it's like, no, I'm not wrong. Like, you did this and this is the reason why this happened. Like, no, you're wrong. And they don't ever want to be wrong. So they're not going to never apologize. Just like Jack said, like that hurts them to their core in order to have to say sorry, because that's admitting that they were wrong and admitting that they hurt somebody.
Mm.
I guess
Okay.
it's a thought. Maybe some people don't have the language. Maybe that's a issue. You don't have the language to, and you don't want to say I'm sorry. Hence the reason why I teach my kids to apologize.
Yeah.
Because you're not sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to do that, or it wasn't my intention to hurt your feelings. Maybe that's a commonality. The language doesn't exist, and I can wholeheartedly agree with, because enough of us don't go to therapy to get the language we need to communicate, and we don't know how to communicate.
Right. They said it. I'm moving on to the next question. They said everything I was gonna say. I guess I'll go to the comments. Let's see what's going on in the chat. My mom said, how much mistakes you gonna make and expect? Oh Lord, my mom's typing so hard. Can expect to be forgiven so much. Come on now. I agree. You can't keep messing up. Good. Good afternoon,
Good
beautiful
afternoon.
family. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say good afternoon. That's all I'm gonna.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right.
We short
Said
text.
need to face the truth, and that's apologize. All right, I'm gonna go with apologize. Okay.
Some people do need to face the truth and apologize.
They do.
Some apologies are owed, and sometimes you got to be big enough to recognize, even if the person didn't ask for it, you owe them an apology.
Yeah. But you got to be big enough. You got to be a big
Right.
enough person to be able to apologize. That's hard, especially when you're holding on to pride and ego.
Mhm.
That's what
Sometimes
gets
it
hurt
ain't
in
even.
their stomach.
But sometimes it
pride
ain't
and
even
the
pride and
ego.
ego. Sometimes it's the people that you're around that won't allow you to do it because you want to save face with the people that you're around.
Yeah.
So when you do that, then you don't even realize that years go by.
You done burnt
And
your
you
own
find
little
yourself
bridge.
in a situation where, you know what? I need to talk to this person. Oh, baby.
And so-and-so is not answering.
3-4 years done went by. You call my number?
No, I'm not answering.
I'll be like, ain't no way.
Samsung got this new little thing where it tell you who calling you, and it go to voicemail, and it lets you hear the voicemail before you
Yep.
decide if you want to pick up. Yeah,
Ain't-
no, go
look,
ahead and
look,
talk to the box.
look. I ain't gonna start no argument, but that ain't just Samsung now. Calm down. All right. Said that proud too. Samsung got this new feature.
Yep.
That's
Hey,
okay.
we rock with Samsung over here.
And for
I don't know
me,
about-
it's
I don't know about
all
your
right.
house.
it's not going to be 3 or 4 years. It's going to be 3 or 4 weeks. Sometimes it might be 3 or 4 days, because if you did something wrong. And if you don't come to me with an apology, especially Bruh, if I have to come to you to get
I
my
can agree.
apology to tell you, and you know you did wrong, like that's not cool.
The
Yeah.
level of mistake in turn directs the level of time span I'm giving you to come and for us to have a conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with
right.
it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. And if we live in the same house, oh yeah, most definitely. Like there's a level of time span for us to have a conversation. Family, blood, friends, it's a level of time that we give each other to come in and have a conversation. Because if we don't, what are we doing?
Mm. I don't know exactly what this is, but I'm gonna click on it.
I don't like your face.
In my husband's words, what?
Oh, you told your ass. That was my daddy's favorite thing.
You told
God
your,
rest,
because
God
that's a
rest my
toilet.
father's
All right.
soul.
All
If
right.
my father ever said you told your ass with him,
That's it.
don't come back.
I ain't
Don't
mad
talk.
at that. I'm not mad
Don't
at
have a
that.
conversation. He gonna go his way and you go your way. Because there's nothing
Mhm.
else to be said.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
You don't want to have no conversations. Don't ask for nothing. Don't need nothing. Just
Because
go about your way.
some things are irreconcilable. Like you can't think that everything has everything has an answer.
Yeah.
Everybody's not built the same.
hmm
Agree.
Every apology is not going to be taken the same way.
You know
Now,
what I was
on one
told?
side, you could say you apologize to somebody, and it was like, oh, okay, I forgive you, blah, blah, blah. On the other side, somebody could rarely be like, man, I don't want that.
I was
I don't
told you
need
can
that.
extend the apology and it might not be accepted. And you have
Might
to
not
live
be.
with that.
hmm
You got to.
You got to
got to.
live with it.
So if you don't feel like you want to go through that, don't do the dumb thing. Don't do that. Terry says, I think somewhere in grade school we should incorporate empathy lessons because we definitely have a lack of empathy in today's society.
Almost definitely.
I like that. Just what does it look like though?
You know, back
What's it
when
look
we were
like?
in school, they made us apologize to each other.
hmm
You couldn't,
Yeah.
you did timeouts, and before you came back together, you had to. You might have had to hold hands.
Yes.
You might have had to shake. You might have had to
Yeah.
look each other in the face
Put the
and
books
say
up,
some words.
do something together.
Yeah.
Right. You had to do something together.
Now that we need to get back to.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't believe they're doing it. I think that we need to get back to because, it's, and I say this all the time, how you do anything is how you going to do everything.
You do everything. Yep.
If I find that you are doing things just in your own convenience and you don't do it, sometimes you don't just, not even something, but all the times you don't see everything all the way through. I don't expect a whole lot out of a person that does that. I don't.
Don't have a level of urgency for nothing.
Right.
Because the reason that too, that part, but that would also mean that at some point you're going to drop the ball when it come to me.
When it's something important.
At some point, you're going to drop the ball somewhere. You're going to drop the ball. And I'm not waiting on that. I'm not waiting on you to drop the ball. I'm going to extend whatever the friendship is. I'm going to be who I need to be around you, but expecting certain things out of you. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Nah, champ.
Yeah, no.
I'm good. Like I'm not about to say, hey man, make sure you pick up you are the one not to be counted on. And I get that.
No.
But if you do bring something, I'm happy, joyful. I'm just not gonna ask you to bring nothing. Because the moment you don't bring it, I'm be like, I knew he wasn't gonna bring it because I could tell how you
Shouldn't have asked you to do that because can't ask you to pick up the cake.
I should have expected it. Right? So Joker bring half a cake. Whose cake is this? Well, this the cake they had on the counter. That's not the cake. So, I don't do that. Samantha says, what if you never get an apology? However, behavior changes. I guess actions speak louder than words. That works for certain people.
That don't work for me.
Because certain people expect both. They want the apology. And they want you to change.
I can respect your change action.
Yeah.
But if you can acknowledge that you hurt me or there was an action on your behalf that affected me and you don't give me the opportunity to see that you're going to acknowledge it, yeah, I can see you change, but I can also see me moving around. Because every action, every mistake can't go unanswered for. It can't always be, well, see, I changed. Yeah, you changed, but you're not acknowledging the fact that this bothered somebody else.
Yeah.
This was something on someone else's behalf that you create.
And that's the accountability piece, right?
Because if you never tell me you're sorry, are you really being held accountable?
No, you skated
You just
around it.
Right.
You moved around.
That's it.
Yeah.
You skated around it. You felt like, okay, well, I'm gonna change behavior but I'm not gonna say anything. Huh? What do you mean? You're not gonna say anything. So just like Jack said, you're not gonna acknowledge the fact of what you did. You're just gonna change. Now, like you said, I can admire the change. I can. At the same time, I think I'm well due an apology. I think I am, especially if you have wronged me in some type of way. I do feel like that, and that's just anybody, not just myself. I think that if you do somebody wrong in any shape, form, or fashion, I think that you should be man or woman enough to say, I apologize, and then change said behavior.
Recognize and acknowledge.
Yes.
There you go.
Easy peasy.
That's it. That's it. Now, we say easy peasy, but Terry says, how you do anything is how you do everything. Well, I've heard the word for today. Hey, man, you can log off, Terry. You can log off. You got what you needed. That's all right. You got what you needed. Hey, DJ Sin, you said this one. Every mistake comes with an invoice. Let that sizzle in your spirit. I like that. Every mistake comes with an invoice. Boy, you said that today. All right. My man, this is my mom. Yes, it is. If I have receipts that you've done something wrong to me and then you want to turn around and apologize down the line, now you should have did it from day one. Okay. Got it. Should have did it from day one. Okay. Debo, what's going on, Debo? I see you in here. I can respect the person's growth and maturity. However, come address your offenses. Yes, please.
Yep.
Gotta address it, man. I feel like, you and a lot of people don't have that in them. They just don't have the fact that, that let me back up. Some people don't like confrontation. I said it in the podcast before. That is a form of confrontation.
It is.
That's what it is. Because when you apologize, because here's the thing that most people are scared of with apologies. The one thing that people are scared of with apologies is the response. It's always this response. Hey, I apologize. You apologize for what? Oh. But now you gotta relive what you did. Now you gotta you gotta shuffle through all that mess and apologize. And then they hit you with and what else? And what else? And what else?
I believe this is based on how you learn. This is based on how you learn. When we were coming up, we weren't taught to apologize for the action we create. So we know what we did, so we do something different. We were taught to just apologize. We were taught to just say, I'm sorry, or I apologize and move on. I teach my kids, apologize for what you did. I apologize for taking that. I apologize for breaking it. I apologize. Be accountable. Hold yourself accountable. When you apologize and you state what you did, guess what? Nobody else has to hold you accountable because you apologized and you know what you did. So you show the other person, I'm aware of what I did. Now, when you don't change, hey, that level of accountability that goes up, you subjected yourself to
But that's how I grew up.
Like
when my mom, the way she raised us, if whatever we did, we had to say what we did and what we apologized for. It wasn't no, oh mama, I'm sorry. No, and we definitely couldn't say we were sorry. We had to say, I apologize and why we did it. Why we did it and what we did.
So, when we were growing up, I had a science teacher. Boy, he was so funny. Don't be sorry. Be careful.
Yep.
She would say that too.
I know you.
Be careful.
Now, I had one that say, I know you're sorry, but what you apologizing for? Ooh. That used to sting. I know you're sorry. You ain't got to tell me you're sorry. What you apologizing for?
I'm well aware that you are sorry.
First of all, sir, it's 6 of us. We'll jump you in here. Don't play. No, I'm just playing. But my mom says, that's right. Make it clear. Make it plain. Tell me why you're apologizing so I'll know that you understood what you did to me. All right.
I feel like that's only fair.
A lot of oomph in that, Mom. Calm down. All right. Sharon says apologies and mean what apologies for, or mean what you apologizing for. Yeah, mean it. Don't just come in there with your head down, looking at your feet.
You mean it.
Let me tell you why I'm apologizing. No, look at me.
Right. Look me in
Look at
my eye,
me.
because when
Look
you bring
me
it
in
back
my
up,
eye.
you might see the hurt in me.
Because when you hurt me, hey, you were looking around at something. Look me in the face. God dang it. My man Devo says, what about the folks that get saved or have a life change but won't apologize? The ones that say, God forgave me, so should you. Then let me explain something, Debo. I'm gonna say this in the best way possible. I'm gonna say this in the best way possible. See, the problem with that is now you're a little too highfalutin, and now you blaming God, or now you want to put it on God that God forgave you. Talking about some
Jesus paid it all.
God know my heart, right? Jesus, it was the blood.
What's the blood?
It was the blood. It was the blood, right? So, and this is what you want to use as an excuse until somebody sends you up on yonder to be next to God because you won't apologize. We're not gonna do that. See, we're not gonna use God. We're not gonna use God as an excuse. About if it's God's will, it's God's bill. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna be big enough, men and women, whether you change your life, you in the church, or you on the street corner. No, you're gonna be big enough to say, hey, I did this and I apologize for it. Don't use God as no excuse. Don't do that. You ain't using I almost said something. Anyway, again, the best apology is change behavior. People say I'm sorry and I apologize all the time. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Ooh, Lord. Let's move on to the next question because I almost said something. Ooh, all right. Do people actually change or simply become better at hiding who they are?
It's a little bit of both for some people.
Okay.
It's both. Some people don't want to be held accountable enough, or it comes enough that they're like, you know what, let me just tuck that away. I'm gonna tuck it. And when there are people around them who don't know them or don't know that version of them, then they can present that. But a person who is really accountable and cares and is concerned about how they're treating other people, they're going to change. And you're going to see the change in them. You're going to see how they move, how they react. In reference to that last little Christian thing, I could be a Christian and change my life. Them people who I hurt in the background gonna still see me when I come back and I got a suit or a tie and a white dress on and I got a cloth on my lap and I got a whole hat that's bigger than New Jersey on my head. They not gonna forget who I was when I hurt them. So if one of them see me and they say, you know what you did 10 years ago? Hey, baby, I'm a changed person now, and I hope you can forgive me for what I did back then because I've changed my life. It's easy. Easier for some of us.
First of all, I get that. I get that. First of all, let me say this. if I don't care where I'm at, if I'm walking out of church or if I'm in a restaurant and I got on that hat bigger than New Jersey, it's explain something to you. If you approach me about something I did 10 years ago, baby, you should have caught me before I pulled all them calendars off the wall. I don't remember what I did. 10 years ago? That's my exact response. Well, 10 years ago, let me stop you. Do you know how many calendars I pulled off the wall? I don't remember what I did. Remind me what I did. And then when you say it, I'm gonna be like, so you mad about, and that's my response, regardless, like, you still mad about that? 10 years ago, this is what you've been holding on to? How many kids you got? I got 3. How old are your kids? Why are you still mad at me? Life has gone on. Like, baby, I'm living my best life. I'm over here trying not to slap box with Jesus. I'm doing good in my life.
With a hat the size of New Jersey.
You understand? I'm trying to do good. And you worry about something 10 years ago. You know what that is? That is somebody that literally wants to pull you back into the person you used to be. That's what that is. Don't remind me of what I did 10 years ago. What?
Some hurts don't heal overnight.
Well, that ain't overnight. That's a decade.
some hurts don't heal. And sometimes, and there are some people who feel like they need, you like we have an agreement. You can't you can't put a deadline on people's hurt. You can't put a deadline on their emotions. And when you do stuff to people, you got to be willing to sit in the deadline. If I don't want to talk to you today, tomorrow, next week, you got to be okay with the fact that I don't want to talk to you because you hurt me. You can't put a deadline on my hurt and my pain.
You sure is right with what you're saying, but don't come to me 10 years later.
Not with all this social media.
I might be. I might be saved, but I ain't soft. Hey, calm down.
Oh my God.
Calm down. All right. Samantha
But
says
not
we all you like that? Let that sizzle in your spirit. All right. Samantha says we all have different requirements and expectations. That's the beauty of this awesome podcast where folks can share their opinions. Oh, Samantha. Look at
but
you.
not so.
You can hold on to that one. That's cool.
Hey, I'm writing it down.
All right. That's right, Sharon. Hey, let go, let God handle it. Please. My boy Devo. Shout out to New Jersey.
Sure. Because I ain't from there.
Yo.
Maybe I should have said Texas.
That joke said bigger than New Jersey. Like, what? And New Jersey ain't that big, but let's go. All right.
Ain't about all the big hats. I should have said Texas.
You should have said Texas. That's funny.
Anyway.
All right. What evidence should we require before believing someone has changed?
You need the evidence of
It's a
their
big
character.
blanket.
Their character speaks loudly than anything. So if their character is
Yeah.
flawed, then you can't believe nothing that they say or nothing that they do. But if their character is not, and they actually showing you that they change and actually putting forth the effort, and you see the growth and you see everything different, then that's your evidence right there.
Okay. What you got, Jax?
It's a big blanket. I don't think you can. I think that's how people get hurt feelings too. You put a level of expectation on somebody instead of just letting them be themselves and bringing about whatever change they can see or bring to the table after you've acknowledged or made them aware that there was a mistake or there was something that y'all couldn't agree on. We can't necessarily depict everybody's change. You got to let people, you got to give them grace. Let them change on their own. Or let God change them.
Yeah. I mean, as far as evidence should we require? I think requirements, when you say requirements, I think that's evidence of you wanting to let somebody back into your life, right? And so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that the change definitely has to be visible. It has to be, and when I say visible, I don't mean they got to be a completely different person. They're transformed into something. But I do believe that the change has to be there, and it has to be an evidence of said change. If you have hurt me in such a way where I need to be sure that if I'm allowing you back in my space, that I can trust you with that. Right. And I think in that sense, I would require some sort of evidence, because if the hurt is so great, or it was so great, that you don't see yourself being around this person again, but they've told you, hey, I've changed and I'm doing all of this and I'm trying to be a better person, and I'm in church or whatever the case may be, then that change, there has to be an evidence of said change. Because nobody wants to continuously be hurt. I just don't see that. Well, hold on. I know a lot of people that's gluttons for pain.
Victims to the circumstances.
Just gluttons for pain, right? But understand this, for those that are not, and they require said change, I do believe the evidence of that change has to be there for those type of people. Because, case in point, if it was a marriage and the marriage, disintegrated because either somebody did something or whatever the case may be, there has to be evidence of change that, hey, either we can work on it or we cannot. So in that sense, or not even just marriage, just, you dating somebody or you're with somebody and something happens, there has to be evidence of some sort of change in order for them to get back together. If not, it's a wrap. Derek says, my wife hurt me in 2008. I had to get over it, bro. I don't know why I clicked on that. Lord Jesus. All right.
Maybe the evidence is the respect of a boundary. Maybe it's a boundary and that boundary is respected. Maybe that's what the evidence can look like.
Definitely.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Barry says there should be fruit. Otherwise, it's just the gift of gab. Because some people could be telling you that they change and it's really not there. My mom says, I want receipts you change looking like the same BS to me. And we're going to move on. All right. Come on, boy.
Right.
I love you, girl.
Be
All right. This is a
received.
great topic tonight. We have family right now that have not received the apology they expected and have imprisoned themselves and not lived their life due to an apology not given. It happens.
Mhm.
Sometimes we do create our own prisons because we put ourselves in this form of isolation because we don't want to be hurt again, or they don't want to talk to this person. So, and this is kind of childish, but I'm gonna say it. Sometimes family members don't get along, and then you tell somebody about it, and all of a sudden you see they're cool. It hurts you that they're cool with them. Like, I told you what they did to me. Why would you go over there and, hey, hold on now, stop. This is still family. Like, I know you're hurt, but I'm not gonna stop talking to my cousin because you and my cousin had a little, tiff or whatever the case may be. But it happens. So that person feels like everybody hurt them. And now they've put themselves in this form of isolation and they've imprisoned themselves. And now they're not at the family reunions, they're not at the barbecues, they're not at the, the cousin cruises or whatever the case may be. And it's a sad place to be because sometimes you do have to move on.
Mhm.
Just like that 10-year apology. Sometimes you do have to move on. Sometimes you're just not going to get that apology. And it's okay. But you can't imprison yourself because you didn't get what you felt like you should have gotten in a certain time frame. Now, that other person is living their entire life. They are good. I'm talking about they are successful. The money coming in, they done got to the bag. They got all the new cars. And you sitting at home, binge watching Bridgerton with cats, eating cucumber sandwiches by yourself. It ain't no need to be. Yeah. Come on.
And sometimes they don't even know that they even wronged you. They might not even know. So you might be holding on to something that this person don't even know that they did. And that's the reason why you never got the apology, because they don't even know what happened.
It's the
They
reason why I
lost.
believe sometimes people just don't have the words. And it ain't even the words to apologize. Sometimes it's the words to say, look, I don't like that.
And it's
Got
okay to
learn
say
it.
that. It's okay to say you don't like something. It's all right. I think the biggest problem most people have, they don't say the thing that needs to be said. Say the thing that needs to be said. And stop
like
feeling
I don't like the way you talk to me. I
And
don't
that's
like how you
okay.
approach me.
And it is okay to say all of those things. You know why it's okay to say all of those things? Because now you have a boundary. And there's nothing wrong with you having boundaries. Nothing at all. Boundaries are good. Regardless of what anybody tells you and how they feel about your boundaries are good. Boundaries are safe. Boundaries keep you from
Safe.
feeling like you got to put your hands on somebody.
I just keep
Boundaries,
you like,
for real. And boundaries will keep boundaries will keep the habitual line steppers away.
you
understand? Like I'm for real. Like you gotta draw the line in the sand, because if you don't, people are gonna treat you exactly how they just want to treat you. Draw the line in the sand. That is your boundary. It's okay to have boundaries. Okay, it's all right. Sharon says, "Right, speak it." All right now, and then had the nerve to come right back and say, "Amen, amen." All right, I'm with all that. Terry said, "Not Bridgerton and cats." Yes, Bridgerton and cats, and you forgot the cucumber sandwiches. All right.
sharing tuna with the cats.
And sharing it with the cats. Nasty. All right. Ugh. All right. So where would your life be if every mistake you made became your permanent identity? Where would your life be if every mistake you made became your permanent identity?
Pit. Thank God for grace and mercy.
Jesus, a pit.
On broken knees.
Jesus. All right. I'm dealing with some heathens. All right.
I say that because when you think about the span of mistakes that you make in life,
Yeah.
there have been some mistakes that we have made and I'm gonna say we because I know y'all, we have all made that have resulted in some really good blessings, but they was mistakes. And you was like,
yeah.
I can't believe
Yeah.
I did that. Believe I got
Yeah.
caught up with that. Lord, if I was the identity of all the mistakes, Jesus, that ain't gonna put me in the pit. Just gonna put me in the pit, leave me by myself. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
I'm gonna be honest. I know what my life would be like. I do. Like every single day, I'd hear somebody scream out, "Stone him!" Like bad. I'm talking about horrible. You hear me? Every day, stone him, and I'm just looking around. Who else got a rock? What is going on? So it's
Jeez.
yeah,
For right
man.
5 days a week.
I'm talking about they taking shifts. This is crazy. So
Thank God for grace
yeah,
and mercy.
man. Thank
Hello.
God for grace, mercy, breakthrough,
Hello,
and
somebody.
favor. I'm talking about beyond all
Okay.
understanding. Okay, please.
Thank you.
All right. If growth is possible, why is accountability often easier to demand from others than ourselves?
I think it's easier to pick out somebody else's flaws and issues and all the things rather than ourselves, because we're not going to give somebody else grace. We're gonna make sure we hold them accountable because we want the best for them, or because we want to see them, exceed. But for ourselves, it's harder because, like I keep saying, like we don't want to be wrong about decisions that we make in our life and how we move and where we go. And so I think it's just easier because we can actually see them. We can't see ourselves though sometimes.
Okay. What you got, Jax?
I agree with Kish. And I think sometimes I believe for most of us, we are our own worst critic. Like we don't give ourselves the you messed up, pick it up, move on. We give ourselves the golly, I can't believe I did that. I
Mhm.
can't believe I made it. I can't believe I was so stupid. We give ourselves such poor language with no grace that we end up beating ourselves. Those of us who do, we end up beating ourselves up more than the people around us that see us make mistakes. And they literally see it for what it is. It's a mistake. Here's an opportunity for you to do something different, come back and change. We hold ourselves, we crucify ourselves. It could be one mistake, and we're gonna crucify ourselves and hold ourselves, nail ourselves to the wall, and just be over it. Versus giving yourself space, reevaluating your mistake, and moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Happens a lot. Happens to me too. I'm telling
You
you.
with your own head 24/7, and you be in that
And
episode.
spinning.
And I'm
Nasty.
talking about
You be in it nasty. Say
that
all
not
kind of
in
stuff to yourself
not
that you
in the
shouldn't be saying.
nasty. What? This is another nasty song. Anyway, listen.
Mm-mm.
I didn't mean that.
Mm-mm.
You know what? We be doing
hold on,
good,
man.
and you take that thing
Hold
and
on.
wow
I'm
for
trying to
real.
explain. So, yes, definitely we have to do better in encouraging ourselves. The conversations that we have with ourselves, we definitely have to do better. You have to understand, we wake up to ourselves every morning.
Mhm.
The first things that you think about in the morning is how you start your day. It's how your day is going to go. Whether you talk to God first or you give yourself an encouraging word, you build yourself up with affirmations. But you have to understand that if nothing else happens, if you are around no one else, you are around you 24/7.
Mhm.
Your voice is the
You
first voice
can't
you hear.
continue to treat other people very well and do yourself dirty. You cannot. You have to at least give yourself the opportunity to speak life into yourself in the event that no one else ever does. You have to. There is so much power in giving ourselves the grace we need, in giving ourselves the right mindset that we need, and giving ourselves the right to say, hey, let's hunt the good stuff today.
Yeah.
Let's find the good in the day. The whole entire day might not have been the best, but find the good in the day.
Where's the silver lining?
Where's the silver line? But you have to make sure that you are taking care of you not just physically, not just financially, but mentally, because your mindset is going to take you further than you could ever imagine. If you believe you can do it, partner, please believe. All it takes is for you to believe that little one thing and just be like, I know I can do this. I know I can do this. I know I can do this. And you keep chucking away at it. It's going to happen. Is it going to happen today, tomorrow, next week? It may not. But if you keep pushing forward with the right mindset, I promise you it will work out for you. Now, with that being said, it's got to be something productive now. Don't get out there and trying to do something crazy. Being, I'm not going to say what it is, but just be positive. We'll just put it that way. Do something positive with your life. But with that being said, you also have to understand that motivation is fleeting. Motivation is very fleeting. Okay. Commitment, consistency, and definitely discipline. Don't always count on motivation because that motivation ain't always going to be there. But the consistency, commitment, and discipline, keep those. And I guarantee you get you exactly where you want to be. My man Debo says, I'd still be a prideful homeless 18-year-old with a chip on my shoulder bigger than New Jersey. This is crazy. They're not going to let that go. All right. So Samantha says, some actually die at 20. However, the funeral is really until they are 75. They need Jesus. Yes. Some people actually, they count themselves out. All right, Debo, once again, facts. You got to count your blessings all the time. All the time. Count your blessings. There is somebody right now in this world that's praying for the life that you live right now.
Absolutely.
Regardless of you feeling like you don't have everything that you're supposed to have, or you feel like you got to grind to get to where you got to get, or you just feel like you're missing something in your life, there is somebody right now in this world that is praying for the life that you live right now.
Absolutely.
All the things that you complain about, they are praying for those things. All the things that you feel like you're missing out on because you can't do this, you can't do that, they are praying for all of those things.
Kids that get on your nerves, somebody want them.
Know that you are blessed. Every single day, know that you are blessed. Man, you might, like you said, you might even want them kids. Somebody want them. Somebody wish they could have kids.
Somebody wish they could have that house,
and you complaining
that
about
car, that job.
And you complaining about it. Man, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. If my car start acting up, I'm still, thank you God, I got a car to drive. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. I promise you. You gotta be mindful of how you've been blessed beyond all understanding, the favor that you have on your life, the breakthroughs that have taken place. You shouldn't be walking around feeling like, oh my God, why don't I have? You'll get it. You just gotta work for it. My mom says, I say self, have a blessed day. I tell myself, self, let no one set your day, own your day. As long as you're not answering yourself, Mom, we're good. We're all right. Because that sounded like you was, never mind. Anyway,
you know what? You are not gonna turn your mama's positivity into that. No, you will not.
I'm saying it sounded like a question was there and she answered it. I don't like that. We'll talk about this after the show, Mom. All right, so
you gonna leave
have we become too comfortable explaining our flaws instead of correcting them?
I think we have, because that mentality of, oh, I've been this way my whole life. I've been doing it this way my whole life. Because you've been doing it that way your whole life, don't necessarily mean it's right. And sometimes how you've done it or how you are doing it doesn't mean it's beneficial to you or those around you. You can't walk through life and just be like, yep, I'm gonna do this way my whole life. And you walk around with a broke club foot because you wouldn't listen to nobody.
Not the broke club
do it
foot.
your way. Yeah. I'm on one today.
Definitely.
Yep.
What's happening?
All right. Go. All right, Kish, what you got? All right.
Yeah, I would say I agree with Jax, but I don't know. I don't know what's happening today.
I think you need to reword that. That's what I think. Cause, boy. All right.
But yeah, that goes back into wanting to be right all the time. Like, you explaining, your flaws, you explaining, like, this is just me. Like, that goes back into wanting to be right and not taking accountability for actually being wrong. And you know what else I think too? People that are around yes friends and yes family members, that they can contribute to that. because they are the ones who say, oh, that's just John. He does that all the time. Don't worry. No, like John is crazy. Like that's not okay.
Whoa, we going off the deep end. What? John is crazy. Oh my God.
Like that's
No,
not okay.
John been robbing people for 33 years. That's
Exactly.
just
That's
John.
just
No,
him.
John is crazy.
Just put your pocketbook up. Like what? No. Like y'all ain't
First
never
of
say
all,
nothing to y'all ain't
where-
never called the police. Call the police on John.
First of all, what establishment or party am I in that when John come in, you tell me to put my stuff away? I'm at the wrong party. I just what? Hey man, go ahead and tuck your chain. Is Debo in the building?
Yeah, this is people.
What are we
My
doing?
grandmama gave me the same.
Oh man, I'm no longer comfortable. That's my time. That is my cue. I'm gonna go. Oh, my mom gonna say, I answer myself. Yep, definitely straight jacket material. All right. We're gonna have a talk, Ma. Don't worry about it. All right, Samantha says people need to stop scrolling social media, absorbing the fake news and fake lives of others. Be grateful and give thanks daily. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Pick up a
indeed.
book.
I tell people that all the
Read it.
time. Get off of social media looking at all these fake lives. You got people borrowing other people's clothes, taking pictures. Y'all calm down. And I know that to be a fact because I know somebody that was doing it and they got thousands and thousands of followers. Calm down. Them people ain't who you think they
Like
are.
them
I
fake
promise you.
weddings.
Not. And that fake Louis, that fake Birkin, we see you, fakey. But it's okay. It's how people do. Just stop looking at these people, believing that they're living these perfect lives. There's a lot of them are very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad because this is all that they have. Their lives are not what they put out to be. It's not what you think it is. Most of them are doing crazy stuff to get this money.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't, and most of the time it's not OnlyFans. It's off of OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Just be mindful. Right? Stop looking up to these people. Oh, they got 1.2 million followers. Yeah. And they cry every single day because they're not happy with their lives and how it's going and how they had to get to that 1.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Be mindful, y'all. Be mindful. Why do people become defensive when confronted with the truth?
Some people aren't ready for the truth. Some people aren't ready to, and they're not ready to accept whatever that truth is. And it's easier to get angry and lash out at people versus stand in the hot water that you got yourself in and accept what it is being presented to you and actively go about trying to change that.
Yeah. What you got, Kish?
I would say it's because they are worried because somebody actually sees a flaw in them. So they're afraid that somebody actually took the time to care enough to actually see them and see that flaw and actually wanted to correct it. And they wasn't ready to correct it themselves.
I'm gonna go with Jax. A lot of people just they're scared of the truth, and many people haven't been told the truth. They
Truth hurts
haven't.
sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it ain't no sometimes. Truth hurts, period, because it's what it is. It's the truth. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. Okay, well then cool. If you cockeyed, then be cockeyed. I don't have to necessarily point out. I can say something like, you look like you picking up loose change with your head face forward, right? So you can say stuff like that. But back to, I'm just cracking jokes. I'm sorry. I don't talk about cockeyed people. Not on Tuesdays. So people normally just are not hearing the truth that they need to hear. You don't have to be a jerk about telling somebody the truth about themselves. But the thing is, you can't sit around and just watch people be just ignorant and just dumb to things. You can't do that. You can't do that. Like, you have to check your people in a way where it's loving, right? But you have to check them. There's no way in the world that you can be around people that are doing these crazy things and you are uncomfortable with it, but you never say anything. The moment you don't say anything, you condone it. You condone the behavior. It's okay to be honest with people and give them the truth that they need. Now, when people lash out And they say stuff like, well, I don't see why they, well, you just ain't never heard the truth before. And that's okay. But you're going to have to sit down with this one, let it soak in and sizzle in your spirit and fix you. Like really fix you. Because nobody else is going to fix you. Either it's going to take therapy or it's going to take a come to Jesus meeting by yourself. But it's going to have to take something because you can't continue to move in this manner. Because honestly, I feel like it's the Walmart thing I always say. When the kids are acting up in Walmart, what that means to me is it was never corrected in the home.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's being displayed in Walmart,
Awesome.
now I'm whooping you in the street. It's too late. You should have been correcting this behavior in the house. Should have been correcting this behavior in the house. It's the same way with your friends, the same way with your family. Correct the behavior now so you ain't got to deal with the nonsense in the end. Because don't nobody want to hear, James is not guilty. No, James been guilty since he was 13.
Definitely, John.
And it finally caught up to him because him and John was running together. John was stealing and John was choking people. You gotta get it together. You gotta tell these people they're wrong. Give them their truths in the beginning, so you ain't gotta worry about them calling you at 2:00 in the morning, talking about, hey, you can put something on my books. Ain't nobody want to hear that at 2:00 in the morning. Keep James and John.
At 2:00 in the afternoon.
Right. Keep James and John from doing the things they're doing. Why we pick James and John, biblical names? That's wild. I don't want to play this game no more. I don't slap box with Jesus. I told y'all that. All right. Terry said, Jax, you tickled by that Friday reference. Hey, he gonna cry in the car. For sure. Yeah. My mom says, I thought Keisha was gonna say I was about to say that too, Jax. I have no idea. We done pulled 2 calendars off the wall, Ma. I don't know what we talking about.
That's because we always be about to say the same thing all the time. It happens every time.
My girl Keisha said, my own girl Keisha said, the truth causes people to look at their flaws. It does. And it should.
That's the point.
It should.
You got to
Mom, exactly the correction should have started at home, but I don't mind tearing that ass up in Walmart. First of all, you ain't never had to whoop me in no Walmart.
In Walmart, did you? If you got out of line.
No, my mom ain't never had to whoop me in Walmart. First of all, we was too silly.
Don't you ask for nothing.
We was too silly. Nah, I did get that. No, you don't want nothing. Don't ask for nothing. Don't touch nothing. Yeah. I got that because I wanted everything. I sure did. I was that kid. I wanted everything. GoBots, Transformers, I want it all. All right, if accountability is supposed to help us grow, what should it actually look like moving forward?
I think that's a personal definition because everybody's boundary doesn't look the same. And depending on the hurt that is or the action, that then reflects what the boundary looks like. For some of us, we need boundaries and apologies. For some of us, we need apologies and changed actions. For some of us, we just need you to recognize and acknowledge that this is what happened and you saw me. You heard me, you saw me. It literally is that literally is a personal declaration.
Yeah. Okay. You got Keish?
I'm only gonna say 2 things. It looks like peace and moving on.
All right. Y'all heard it. What else? I don't think I'm supposed to say anything else. I feel they be stumping me because I be having the answers, and then all of a sudden they be like, "That's how I know we all on the same page." Because I have my answer, and all of a sudden they'll say it. I'm like, I'm not about to say
That's
that
Jax
again.
all the time, like every time, every single time.
I'm gonna start going first. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna stump y'all. Give y'all way too much leeway. Anyway, Terry says, what if telling someone the truth produces rage and threats of leaving and pure shutting down? Let them leave. Let them go. Let them walk right on out.
Right now? Let them go do what it is that they gonna go do.
Yeah, because they was gonna do it anyway.
Because if me telling you something like that throws you into a rage and you threaten to leave me, you weren't supposed to be with me no way.
Bye. Or even if they use it against you, like bye.
Yeah, you got it right though. Let them and goodbye. That's it. Let them and goodbye. Let them know, hey, guess what? Nothing was done to the house. We didn't do no renovations on the house. The door's in the same place.
All of them.
You can go.
And the windows.
You can go.
And the locks ain't gonna be the same if you try to come back. Bye.
Sure ain't. I mean, the lock's gonna be the same, but that key you got ain't gonna work. I can tell you that for sure. All right. My mom said, you sure did. You want everything you saw like I'm kin to Trump. I'm glad you ain't kin to Trump, but can't believe you just said that.
That bitch, you think your mama had no money? Yeah, everybody know their mama had money back in the day. Don't look at her comment like that. Yeah, see how don't look at her in that tone of voice. Don't look at her in that tone of voice.
And then DJ Single said, your mama cussed me out a few times, but I listened. Yes, she did. She did. I'm gonna tell a story one day what my mom did about this to this dude that I went to college with. She cooked. I'm not gonna tell the story now because it's not the right time, but she cooked and he didn't eat the way he was supposed to eat the food, and she said a few things. So I'm gonna air that out in another episode. But in conclusion, maybe the question isn't whether accountability matters, because it does. The real question is, what are we trying to accomplish with it? If accountability only humiliates, only destroys, only punishes, then who actually grows? Because every single one of us has made mistakes. Every single one of us has needed grace. Every single one of us has benefited from a second chance. So tonight, ask yourself, am I seeking justice or revenge? Do I give people room to grow? Am I as accountable with myself as I am with others? And what kind of world are we creating if nobody is allowed to change? Because accountability should make us better, not just make us bitter. All right? So definitely those 4 questions, ask yourself. All right. So you know what time it is. We have reached that segment of the podcast where I heard my pastor say,
Michael.
all right. Now that they got that out the way. So I heard my pastor say, God is either going to try to bless you with instruction or bless you with experience. Say that again. God is either going to try to bless you with instruction or bless you with experience. See, because experience is not the best teacher, it's the most expensive teacher. Many people struggle with this because we always lack peace wherever we lost trust. And many people struggle with trust because they have experienced some sort of trauma. You see, trust takes the next step, while trauma says, remember what happened the last time. So you got to make a decision. Are you going to live in trust, or are you going to continue to live in that trauma? But then there's a certain level of stubbornness that's there that will not allow you to see beyond the trauma. You know, you're stubborn when you've been wrong and you still refuse to admit it. You know why? Because stubbornness is to worship your own opinion. And most of you trust and or value your opinion more than those who have your best interests in mind, and even God himself. That stubbornness mostly comes in the form of phrases like, that's just who I am. That's how I've always been. That's how I've always dealt with things. There are things that you are holding on to that are going to cause you to lose your grip on your blessings, your breakthrough, and your favor. Because either you're going to step aside and let God do the work, or you're going to do the work, and then that will make him take his hands completely off of you. And he's going to make sure he blesses you with an experience when you should have been blessed with his instructions. So in other words, you must let go, let God, lay your burdens down at his feet, and seek his face. That's it. That's all. So if you're not going to let God do his work, be prepared to him to walk away and watch you work and gain the experience instead of you getting those instructions. I'm just saying, which one you want? Which one you want? Which one you want? You want the blessing or the instructions?
Not about listen.
Just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. And please, by all means, don't forget to hit those follow buttons. Jax, where can they follow you?
You can follow me and find me on Instagram and TikTok at dopequeen_786.
DOPE. Once again, I say DOPE. That's how you spell dope, y'all. All right. Niche, where can they follow you?
They can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Kish. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 313_Kish. I was just messing with G because he always say I messed up. KISH.
All right.
And G, where can they find you?
In the club, Battlefield. No, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at GL_Richardson. TikTok and Instagram. All right. Find me on Facebook, you're a creep. Anyway, after you've hit those follow buttons, don't forget to click the link below to subscribe for just $3 a month. Your contribution helps us keep the mics hot, the lights on, and the conversations flowing. Now, we do understand that life is indeed life and right now. And if you can't give, it's okay. We wholeheartedly understand. Now, just do us a favor. Since you're already here, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right here, you're already here. And if you're listening, it's at Vibe Responsibly Podcast on YouTube, all right? And we thank you in advance for all of your support. And as always, have a phenomenal day on purpose. And we don't know you, but we love you like we do. And we out.
Coming in hot.
Hey.
Coming in hot.
Hey. I think we only getting 2 tonight, y'all. All right.
Yeah,
y'all have a good night. We'll catch up with y'all next time, man.